about a lady who was raped in the church and was murdered there in cold blood, and a young girl who was raped by 11 men, blah blah blah, like that. And when I heard the story, it really touched me, and I was hot. Like it was me the thing happened to. You know, at first I thought the whole idea of rape had ended in the country, not knowing that it was just being kept quiet. Many people just kept quiet. That were victims just kept quiet and let it slide, you know. And reasons being that they don't want to be mocked, they don't want to. Some parents will say, "Don't spoil the family name." Excuse me. Don't spoil the family name and all. But why do we do this to endanger our lives by keeping secrets like that? How do you want the victims to get to heal from such events? Let me share a story of a lady to you. I used to know this friend, friend of mine. We grew up together. Unfortunately, when I met her, she had lost her parents, so she had to move in with her uncle. The idea being that the uncle was supposed to sponsor her through school. Okay. And ever since she moved into her uncle's place, the uncle constantly rapes her. Fortunately, admission into the university came in and she was too excited to leave the house. So constantly, whenever it's school over, she tend not to go home. She prefers to stay or hang around friends. Then when it's a week towards resumption, so she could get money to go back to school, she has to go back home. She's been trying to avoid the incident from reoccurring, but there was nobody to tell, nobody to help her out. She had to die in silence. So while in school, she met a guy whom she fell in love with, and she told the guy, confided in the guy about what had been happening to her. Okay, the guy understood and was willing to help her go through it. So there was this time they fell in the mood to connect, um, well, I call it sexually, but she resisted. Why? Because she's been traumatized. She couldn't stand the touch of a man, being that she's been raped by her uncle, and it was a struggle. You know, rape now, it's not something you consent to. It's always going to be a struggle. So when her present boyfriend tried to touch her, it was a struggle as usual. Unfortunately for the guy, he was slapped, had teeth bites from her. It was not so palatable for the guy, you know, but he was willing to help her go, as in overcome that stage. That's one thing most people don't know. When this kind of incident happens, Yorubas will say it's of obaye omoyeje. At the beginning, while I was young, I never understood what the meaning was. But considering what happened to this young lady, I later got to understand. You spoiling the person's life doesn't mean you need to kill the person, you need to take his wealth or something. You've killed her internally, killed her emotionally. She can't be free with any other person until that thing is off her totally. So it was a lot of struggle for her to overcome that. But with the help of the guy and some friends, she was able to get over it. With time, she allowed it slide. Fortunately, graduated, went for youth service, got a good job, and moved out of the house. You know, Yorubas will say oju eni kò lè dàbí ojú ẹni. I don't know how they put it in Yoruba, but my Yoruba people will understand. I'm not so talented in speaking Yoruba, though I'm a Yoruba girl. And you know, your own eyes, if you're the parent of the girl, can't be as the eyes of the uncle or the auntie, whomever she's staying with. That is, the auntie or the uncle will not take care of your own daughter the way you will take care of your own child. Another story of somebody who was 6 years old, was entrusted with her neighbor. Once she finishes from school, she goes to her neighbor's place to wait for her parents, for them to get back from work. Unknown to the parents that the child was constantly raped, the child still did not tell the parent because she was threatened that at the incident she could not voice out. Then she didn't really know much about sex or anything, so she kept it inside of her. She went through the pain on her own. As time went on, she grew up and became a teenager or something. Then she discovered from her peers that, okay, this is sex, this is how it happens, and got advice from friends too. They told her what to say, what to do to get the man off her back. Fortunately, as she became a teenager, there was no need for her staying with the neighbor. Instead, she prefers to stay in the house and lock herself in her own house, or in her parents' place rather. And that was how that incident went off. So back to the issue. Why is it that this thing keeps coming back? I want to believe if you're a child of God, a Christian or a Muslim, you would not want to make an attempt to do such because it's against our religion. So I will say such person is an idol worshiper. Maybe. Because if you really have the fear of God in you, you won't want to hurt your fellow human being. I live in an estate where every year we organize carnival. Every year, I think December. Yeah. Every December it's carnival. And I lived in the estate for over almost all my life before marriage. And my parents never allowed me to attend carnival, just protecting us. So fortunately, there was this day my friends from Ikorodu came to my estate all because of this carnival. So my dad had no choice but to allow me go with them, but we were given time to return back home. Curfew. So we went for this carnival. We walked around the estate. It was fun. Yeah, there was loud music. We could dance. You will see the way they let them around. You will see how they smoke, how they drink. You will see people selling food. It's a good event. In the morning of the carnival, you see them doing a parade. It's a competition. Blah blah blah, like that. Which bus stop took first? Which bus stop took second? It's fun, yeah, but the aftermath of it is not so palatable because after the dance all night thing, when it's time for them to go home, shit happens. We get to see, in the middle of night, we get to hear noises. Nobody is willing to come down. Why? Because they are scared themselves. They don't know what they are going to meet out there. But you will hear the way the lady is screaming for help. I was talking to my friend about this some days ago about it, and he gave me an example of something that happened because we lived in the same estate. Something that happened right in front of his block. He could not come downstairs because he's a church boy, But this lady kept on screaming. They were like 3 guys that wanted to get down with her. And she kept on screaming. And this place we are talking about is an open place. Why would a man or someone want to try that? No. Even if you are in the mood, carry your wife, throw her on the bed now. Happy is your girlfriend. Put her in the room or tell her, babe, I'm on you, I need you. Call her, call somebody. You don't need to forcefully pin somebody to do what you want to do because you want to feel at ease. Fortunately for this young lady, there's this guy that stayed upstairs the building. I think the last floor, came down to rescue her. Fortunately, the guy too is a street guy, or was a street guy, so he knew the code and the language to use to communicate with them, and that was how he was able to spare the girl. He was able to help the girl through that drama. Constantly, we get to hear about 16, 11 guys raping 2 girls. Every time we wake up the next morning after the carnival, we get to see condoms everywhere in the area. Now, what are we doing as a society? Because we like to leave everything for the government. It's just like a church. It's a building. But who makes the church? We that attend the church makes the church. So the society is an environment. Who makes the society? Is we that live in that society. So what are we doing to help each other in that society? What are the security things we do to help each other? I bet you most of the corners of the estate, there are no lights. It's always dark. At a point, my parents had to stop me from coming out from, once it's 7 p.m., you don't go out. If I'm to come out, I'm coming with my bodyguard, which is my brother, to protect me from such harms. But we live in an estate whereby everybody minds your business, and if they are minding their business, they are still talking about you. There's gossip around. Yes, it's like living in the barracks. So why can't we use that spare time of gisting or talking about each other to help each other, secure each other? It could be you next, it could be them next, it could be I next, it could be anybody. So what are we doing to protect each other? What's the security basis? If the government are not helping, let's help each other. Fine, the government has a lot of load to carry, which they are not doing well. They are not treating us right. We know that. We are just praying to God to give us a better government. Sure, but let us government ourselves. Let us teach ourselves. Let us help ourselves. Let us secure ourselves. Like, I was watching a video yesterday when they were talking about this rape issue. One of the celebrities was saying that any man or any person that rapes somebody should be hanged or killed because the person has killed the person internally. It's fair. We need to work on this rape issue. It should come to an end. Let it stop. I was going through the social media some days ago and I bumped into a woman, or a lady wanted to give a young girl, a child rather, something, and she discovered a stain or mark on the girl's face and asked the mother what happened. The mother denied it and nothing. Fortunately, there was someone much of age a bit, now told the woman that this is what happened. Could you believe a 2-year-old child was being raped and the mother beat the child for being raped, saying, I have warned her not to go to that man's house or not to be with that man. A 2-year-old, kilo mo ejo. What does a 2-year-old know? We know children like to play. He could have deceived her with a stick sweet. They like sweet things. It's a child. What do you expect? The mother was so dumb to beat our own child, a 2-year-old child, for a man. And she did nothing to the man. And we castrate him. He will go to jail and never return again. What rubbish. Saying the child is a prostitute, a 2-year-old. She's a prostitute. That's why she went to meet the man. Kilo mo ejo. Almost 6 years old gone. Kò tí mọ nǹkankan. 5 years old, what do they know? Not to now say 2-year-old. C'est pas bon. It's not fair. It's not good. No, that mother needs to be checked. They need to check her psychology, whether she's okay. She needs to be checked. And I like the lady that took the story up. She said she was going to investigate it and apprehend the man. I would love if they do and give him the proper judgment he deserves. Lately, we talk more on female rape, but we have male rape, but it's not well known. It's not well, nobody talks about it. But we have that. But we believe it's a man, so it's a boy. They will pass through it, or they will go. They will be okay. But rape is rape. Whether a male child or a female child, rape is rape. A video went viral of one guy talking about what happened to him while he was a child. He's of age now, so he decided to share his experience. You know what we Africans are talented at? We know how to stigmatize. When issues like this come up, Amobashima stigmatize arawa kilo de. Why do we like to stigmatize each other? We mock each other at everything available. That's why most of these things don't come out. That's why most people that victims of these issues don't come out. And various topics that we like to stigmatize people for. That'll be another topic for another day. Why do we stigmatize each other? Some parents will say, please don't say it out, you will spoil the family name. Which name, which name are they spoiling? It's not like she consented to it and overdoing or something. It's a different ball game. But she was raped. You should firstly secure your child before thinking of another thing. People will give excuses and excuses. A child being raped by her stepfather, the mother tends to cover it up because she doesn't want to be left alone. She doesn't want the man to leave her alone, putting her own child in danger and risk. Kilode, what for? What for? This child you are looking at is your tomorrow. And you're jeopardizing our present now. God help us all, oh. God help us all. I am being pained. I am pained at the moment because of this topic. I'm pained. It's really hurting me. We need to stand up as individuals to fight this issue. If the government are not doing anything, we can do something for each other. Let's stand up for each other now. The time is now. Let's stand up for each other. Let's fight for each other. I'm not kicking against carnivals in the estate. But if we want to have carnivals in the estate, let's make sure there's standard security. If there's going to be carnival, from this time to this time, let the carnival end. It doesn't have to be 3 midnight or 5 in the morning. Kilo day. Even if it's going to extend till that time, let there be enough security so that these abuses will stop. Well, it's no funny kankan. Oh. It's no funny kankan. It's paining me. Anyways, with this topic, I will end it here because I don't want to go too further because I might go emotional and begin to shed tears. And I don't want to shed tears on camera. So I'll be leaving you with this video. If you have any contribution to this issue, please comment below. And if you like the topic, please like the video. And please don't forget to subscribe, share to your friends, let them be aware of these things. Let them know how to protect themselves from these things. So please share the video. I still remain your person, Shewen. So we'll be back again with another gist pretty soon. Hope to see you next time. Ciao, ciao.